Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Royal Instinct. Today we're going to be watching a couple videos about discussing the Epstein scandal and the fragility of global leadership. We're going to be watching the Andrew Tate and Piers Morgan interview and I think they're called the Flying Lotus and their take on the Epstein scandal. Why is this important? Okay, we live in times where people have lost hope, where people have lost faith and trust in their leaders, where society is collapsing all around you. People are depressed, people are anxious, people don't have anybody to turn to. Okay, and when the elites are exposed, how they are in the Epstein files, then the people are beginning to wake up. The people are beginning to see what these elites are really like. Okay, why is this important, right? Because you may be somebody who looks at their life, who is looking around, trying to find meaning, trying to find solutions to your problems, right? You might be somebody who is down in the dumps, depressed. You're trying to make something of yourself. You are ambitious, and you're playing the game how you thought it should be played. You are working hard, you are paying your taxes, you are doing your part for society, but you are not getting anywhere. Okay, your dating life is not improving. The types of women that you get are not the attractive ones. You know, everything is getting more and more expensive. We are living in a cost of living crises. You may be going to bed at night, each and every night, and just gazing up at your ceiling, thinking, what the fuck is going wrong in my life? How do I solve this? Why do I feel unhappy? Why do I feel these strange feelings of negativity? And basically, I was somebody who was in your place. I was somebody who was experiencing sleepless nights, somebody who was beginning to question, like, if the things I'm doing are correct. And my conclusion was, right, and this happened, the Jeffrey Epstein scandal was a big wake up call. You know, the way C-19 was handled, okay, the lockdowns was a big wake up call. Okay, the elites were doing one thing, telling us to stay at home, telling us not to pay attention to propaganda, and yet they were partying, they were milking the country dry, milking the system dry. Okay, they were using their access to power, okay, for their own personal gain. You just gotta look at someone like Nancy Pelosi, who is the world's best trader. You know, how does somebody become the world's best trader? Well, it's fucking easy when you have access to inside information, or when you are part of Congress, the Senate, and are able to get private information before it is made public, and um, place your investments accordingly, so that when shit hits the fan, you are profiting. You get to sell your shit before the public finds out the information, right? So then you're not making a loss, and then you could buy the stuff before it goes up. So you are not paying a premium on that stock. And when you really look at it, when you are somebody like me who is, like, I'm willing to play fair. Like, I would love to play fair, right? But when you really look at it and you think, I'm being fair, but the rest of the fucking people, the elites, are rigging the game. The casino is rigging the situation so that the house always wins. You will end up like me, fed up. And my decision, which is why I've made this channel, which is why I've made this channel Raw Instinct, because I refuse to play the game. I am making my own game. I am coming up with my own solution. I'm coming up with my own system of how I want to live. I want to live like a life of freedom, and I want to establish my own kingdom, which is what my God-given right is, which is what my destiny is leading me to. Okay, now it is not just my destiny. Right, this is a bat signal. This is a opportunity for anyone watching who understands what it is that I'm doing. Right, most people watching this shit, right, it will go over their heads. They'll be like, "What is this fucking guy on about? He doesn't have a clue. I don't understand what he's saying." Fuck them, right? I am looking for the people who understand what it is that I'm trying to accomplish in this world, okay? The world is about to go to shit. AI will come, it will fucking rape you in the ass, right? It will decimate your job, right? The elites are just waiting, they're frothing at the mouth, waiting to take your money, waiting to lock you up in your bedroom, right? They're waiting to make sure that you are sexless, have no opportunity to date any women, well, no attractive women, right? You can date all the ugly ogres that you want, okay, but all the actual women that you dream about, that you fantasize about, right? The elites, people like Elon Musk, are scooping them up, ready to place them on the spaceship and drive them up to fucking Mars when shit hits the fan, okay? When shit hits the fan, this is what I want for me, for my people, my friends, my new friends that I'm making, right? The Amicis here, which is Italian for friend. I am gathering them together. I am making a opportunity for you. This is the part of the film where you decide to step up and ask yourself, do you want to stay a king? Do you want to become a king? Or do you want to stay an NPC in the background with no hope in life? Okay. If you ever had that ambition, that desire within you to do more than what you were born into, then this is the moment. People reach out to me all the time. I am working with people to bring out their divinity, that bring out their kingly instinct. Okay. And that is what this channel is about. It is a opportunity to assemble the Avengers, bring about a new breed of hero, and together we will overthrow all the evil in the world, all the fake players in the world. But let's go into who the evil people are. Let's go into the discussion between Andrew Tate and Piers Morgan. Both people are, I would say, are evil. Both people have hidden agendas. They do not have your best interest, which is why we need to defeat them. We need to replace them and become the de facto rulers.
We just watched
Become the de facto rulers of the world.
Andrew Tate call out the global elite at the 9-minute mark, and things are about to get even crazier. Piers Morgan is losing his patience, and Tate is doubling down on his Matrix theory. If you missed part 1, check the playlist. Let's pick up right where we left off and see if Piers can actually get a straight answer out of him. Let's go.
Well, yeah, sure. And there's pictures of you with...
How do we here at Raw Instinct escape the Matrix? Right? Andrew Tate is big on escaping the Matrix. What we do is we create our own Matrix, right? There is no need to escape it when you are the creator of it, right? If you've ever watched The Matrix, the actual film, right, you know who the architect is and the Oracle. We are both the architect and the Oracle in new form, right? Because when you are the creator of something, when you are the person leading a new revolution, you are automatically crowned by the people who decide to follow. Okay, we are taking advantage of being the first mover. Okay, so it is first mover advantage for us, right? And I don't want to be the only one, right? Because what fun would it be if I was god of the world, right? If I was the only king in the world, if I was the only leader in the world, like, that's great, I've got all this power, but I've got no one to have a laugh with, enjoy my life with, right? Enjoy those peak experiences with. I want to create a network of kings, people like myself, right? And it might be only 10 people. My aim is 100 people in the world, right? In a world of 10 billion people, I can find 100 people to establish 100 kingdoms, and together we will be the new rulers of the earth.
Left off and see if Piers can actually get a straight answer out of him. Let's go.
Well, yeah, sure. And there's pictures of you with certain members of Epstein's circle, and I'm not going to, for a second, going to accuse you of any kind of wrongdoing.
Well, no, but I'm happy to talk about that. But hang on.
I mean, straight away, what Andrew Tate is good at, he is good at stirring the pot. He is good at being controversial, right? Normally, a comment like that wouldn't fly on Piers Morgan's show. However, because Andrew Tate is already known as being controversial, right? Piers Morgan is more likely to entertain it. Okay, so let's see. He is happy to talk about it. I think there's a lot more to it. right, than what he is saying. But let's see what his argument is for taking pictures with Ghislaine Maxwell.
Okay, but look, but you raised that, so I have explained that very simply. All right.
Please
so
do.
in 2013, I think it was, I went to a book launch for a guy who was editor of a British newspaper in Manhattan. A lot of starry people there, Stephen Fry, all these people. And I was introduced to a woman I didn't know called Ghislaine Maxwell. And the link was that I was editor of a Daily Mirror in the UK, which was owned by her father for many years, Robert Maxwell, who then fell off a boat and probably killed himself. Maybe not, we don't know. And I had a 5-minute conversation with Ghislaine Maxwell, and a photographer appeared and took group pictures, and then people have cut out me and her and posted it. Now, I've explained that many times. That was the only time I've met Ghislaine Maxwell, had any dealing with her. Never met Jeffrey Epstein, had any dealings with him. Certainly never went to his island or his parties or anything. That's it. So my full extent of exposure to either of them was 5 minutes at a book launch, standing there, and there happened to be a photographer, and that was 2013. So I've been,
So it's funny though, right? How many of the world's elites have some sort of connection to Ghislaine and Jeffrey Epstein, right? Like Elon Musk, right? He has this random picture with Ghislaine Maxwell, okay? And then his name appears with emails to Jeffrey in the Jeffrey Epstein files, okay? Like all these weird people, like a lot of people who go on Joe Rogan's podcast, for example, have had dealings with Jeffrey Epstein, right? Brett Weinstein, Eric Weinstein, whichever ones of the brothers. You know, all these people have some sort of connection with it, right? And they will all plead, like Bill Gates, okay, they'll all plead like, oh, it's just random, it's just a coincidence. Peter Thiel is in there. But is it a coincidence? You really have to ask yourself, you really have to question, you have to put on your conspiracy hat, you have to put on your tinfoil hat, and just look at the evidence. It's like, are they just lying to us, right? Like, they're happily, like if you look at that picture of Ghislaine and Piers Morgan, if you look at that picture, look how fucking happy Piers Morgan is in the picture, okay? So whatever story he is trying to sell, I am not buying.
I argue.
I believe you.
Yeah, I've got no problem, people. I've got no problem. Well, it doesn't really matter. That's what happened. And the point being, though, that I believe I've been 100% transparent. All I'm requiring other people to be is when similar stuff comes out about them, be equally transparent, right? And my argument about Elon is he's saying one thing, but we're reading a different thing in the emails, which contradicts what he's saying. That is not being transparent. You know, if I said this about Ghislaine Maxwell and someone said, well, hang on, because I've got all these emails of you and her having a good old, you know, chinwag on email or going to the island, or then I'm a liar. Then I'm lying, and I should be judged accordingly. Nobody has ever said that. Everyone accepts.
Absolutely.
I met her for 5 minutes. I want people in these files to say, here's what's in there about me. I mean, look at Bill Gates, right? So Bill Gates has come out. We got a clip, I think, of Bill Gates. This is so just for viewers who've not followed this, Bill Gates, it turns out, in one of the documents in the
so the thing is, though, what he's saying is Piers Morgan name does appear in the Epstein files, right? And this is on Grok. That I just typed in on AI. Is Piers Morgan's name in the Epstein files, right? Yes, Piers Morgan's name does appear in the Epstein files, also referred to as the Epstein documents or unsealed records related to Jeffrey Epstein's case. Multiple sources, including reports from BuzzFeed, references in other news coverage, confirms that his name is mentioned 29 times in released documents hosted by the Department of Justice, justice.gov, Epstein. However, these mentions are not indicative of any wrongdoing, involvement in Epstein's crime, direct correspondence with Epstein or Ghislaine, participating in any illegal activities. The references are incidental and in the context of other people, such as publicist Peggy Segal, mentioned them in the emails or social events description. For example, one 2011 email noted that Segal had been with Piers Morgan at a dinner hosted by Barbara Walters for Woody Allen. So Woody Allen, another pedophile, right? He got married to his adopted stepdaughter, I believe, something like that. His stepdaughter. A 2012 email mentioned him as an expected attendee at a Hollywood Reporter event. Piers Morgan. So, I mean, if you are in these elite circles, you are in close proximity to Jeffrey Epstein, right? And like, whether you like it or not, okay, this guy had some sort of involvement in there, right? Let's read forward. In one instance, I guess Lady Victoria Harvey brought up his name appearing in the files during an interview, and he reacted strongly, but the context lines with non-incriminating nature. So he's not incriminated right now. Okay, that doesn't mean he won't be incriminated in the future. And this is just evidence in the files, in the non-redacted parts. No credible sources suggest Piers had a personal or direct connection to Epstein beyond these passing third-party mentions in social professional circles. The files primarily detail Epstein border network. I don't know, guys. I'm not accusing him of anything, but I'm not buying the story that he's selling. Right? That is just, it's too much of a coincidence. Let's jump in further.
Epstein files. Epstein appears to have drafted a note that would have been sent by one of Bill Gates' right-hand men to Gates by way of kind of leverage stroke blackmail for this aide to avoid being fired, as he feared he was going to be. And in it, he says that he protected Gates when he caught an STD from a prostitute, and that also protected.
And this is the other thing. These elites, right? They're having sex with prostitutes. They're having sex with all these women that Jeffrey is providing for them, right? So in this case, let's just assume the woman, the prostitute, is overage, right? She is of age, okay, to consent to sexual relations. She's not under 18, basically, under 21, whatever you want to deem pedophilic. But you know, I live here in the UK, so I think 16 is the age of consent here. But let's draw a line under 18. I think everybody's fucking happy at that, right? He caught an STD of a fucking escort that Jeffrey Epstein provided. Like, this guy's not even wrapping up. Okay, he is a CEO of a multinational, one of the biggest companies in the world. Okay, this guy can't even fucking wrap up. Like, and then on the other hand, right? Okay, he's telling us we need to get vaccinated for all these fucking diseases, right? So on one hand, he's catching diseases because he can't be able to strap up properly, right? Like, and let's face it, like, do you think Bill Gates is packing? Like, let's not. He's not, right? He's got this tiny little cock. He is a dork, right? He is telling you because he got lucky with Microsoft, right? He probably a CIA plant, right? He is a CIA asset. He got lucky and he decided to fuck a Russian prostitute, right? Got an STD offer, right? And on the other hand, he is appearing on national TV telling you to get vaccinated because he is worried about human health. Something is not adding up. I am not buying the story.
Protected him when he wanted to get medication secretly to Gates's then wife to stop her getting in.
So, I mean, I'm glad to hear that, although he was fucking hookers, he's still fucking his wife, right? Because how else would Melinda got an STD? So, he is still fucking his wife after all these years. Good on him, man. Like, poking the bear with his little podger, right? Todger. Yeah, no, it's that's fucked up, right? Like, if a person is willing to slip a pill to his own wife so she doesn't find out his indiscretions, that is fucked up, isn't it? Like, come on. Okay, and what sort of fucking STD did you even catch? Like, gonorrhea? Like, it is disgusting.
On a human level, incredibly. I felt very sad for her, but the point being, she didn't deny that story. right? Which would have been very easy to do. So I think that Bill Gates is going to come under a lot more heat for the veracity of his distancing statements here about it. And look, it may well be
Piers,
he's done nothing criminal either, but it looks damning.
Absolutely, it looks damning. And you're talking about him being under a lot more heat. I would argue that he's not going to face a fraction of the heat that I have. He's not going to lose Microsoft.
Are you not just sick and tired of Andrew Tate being the world's biggest moaner? Okay, let's put this Jeffrey Epstein shit aside, right? But Andrew Tate is the biggest crybaby in the world, right? Because let's face it, he is a person who, whether you call it human trafficking or not, right? He has coerced women to do his bidding, okay? And he has underpaid them and threatened them. And he has tried to, use the lover boy method in order to get them to sell their pussy for him, right? You can't deny that, right? And then he is getting them on camera and he's sitting at the back scamming men, right? Because he seems to be a big advocate for men, right? But like his past actions don't display that. And he claims to be a billionaire, right? Okay. How much money did he make in webcamming, right? It was pre his internet social media fame, right? So let's say he was really fucking successful, right? Which I don't think he was. I think at most he made maybe 2-3 million. Let's say he made $10 million, right? And he fucked all these people over, right? So there is some sort of paper trail, right? I know in one video he, I think it was with the Nelk Boys, he admits to scamming this one guy for $1 billion. Sorry, $1 million. This one guy he scammed, and now he claims to be a billionaire. If you really cared about that, wouldn't he reach out to those people and return their money? Because if you've got $1 billion, he says he's a billionaire. Wouldn't $1 million be fuck all to you? He doesn't do that. There is no record or evidence that he's ever given money back to the people he scammed when he was running his webcam scam business. Okay, because the men weren't talking to the women; they were talking to a man behind the keyboard. They were talking to Andrew Tate and Tristan, right? And now what these people asking? They're probably asking, like, show me a picture of your pussy. They send a picture of the pussy. Hey, what do you think of my dick? So they're looking at men's testicles. They're looking at men's cocks, right? When they're fucking doing all the typing on behalf of the women in front of the camera. Right, and then they're scamming these people for money, right? Is there any record that Andrew Tate, self-proclaimed billionaire, right, billion with a B, right, has given his money back to those people that he scammed, right? Because pre-social media fame, there's no way he made more than 10 million. 10 million of 1 billion is fuck all. It's fuck all, right? Because if he had any heart, if he had any self-conscious, right, if he's repenting, he converted to Islam, he is now a man of God, right? He is looking at Muhammad straight in the face. He is looking at God straight in the face. Is he returning the money that he scammed of these people, right? If I was to hear that, I would change my opinion on Andrew Tate, but I'm not hearing this shit. He is a performative clown.
He's not going to go to jail in Romania.
He's always crying about his own fucking, like, look, jail in Romania. Like, fuck off, mate.
Not going to be locked in his house for 4 years. And it's important we understand context.
Basically, what he's saying in that sentence is, like, Bill Gates has committed crimes, but he's not going to be treated like how I was treated, right? Because I wish I could get away with my crimes with Bill Gates. He's not repenting any of the crimes. He's saying, like, I wish I didn't have to serve the time. I wish I didn't have to serve the time. Let's jump into this other video I wanted to show you.
The Epstein file revelations are getting pretty dark. They're getting, like, genuinely... I mean, the internet is, of course, ablaze with all of this sort of stuff. So you've seen people talking about pizza and grape soda, right?
This is all new to me.
This is all new to you.
The Pizzagate thing is all new. I don't know anything about this. I thought this was to do with the Pentagon when they would get pizza.
To give you a preface on that, then, Pizzagate was a few years ago now, where Hillary Clinton's emails were leaked by WikiLeaks because her emails got hacked because it was an insecure server or whatever it was, and there was a weird terminology that was being used about pizza. I mean, okay, the food pizza I like just as much as anyone else. You go out, you might get a pizza, you might get a kebab, or you might get a burger or whatever. But you don't really talk about it that much, right? Like, you don't send constant non-stop emails referencing the word pizza over.
I don't even think Italians do.
I don't even maybe they do. But the point is, it became apparent that this was kind of a code word. So if you were messaging a dealer, you'd say, have you got any grass? Or can I get some snow? Or something like this. It took on that sort of aspect. And then it got buried. And they were like, nope, this one journalist came out and he was like, nope, Pizzagate, nothing but an alt-right conspiracy. A couple of years later, he...
And that's the funny thing. It's like with a lot of these conspiracies, right? Like the Jeffrey Epstein conspiracy is the one that broke the camel's back, because from Jeffrey Epstein, all these other conspiracies tend to kind of align, right? Like if you think about it, okay, Jeffrey Epstein, human trafficker, pedophile, child trafficker, child molester, right? That's the Jeffrey Epstein conspiracy, okay? Jeffrey Epstein is a convicted pedophile, sex offender, okay? He's also an agent of the Mossad, possibly CIA, MI6. He's attached to all these intelligence agencies, right? He has fake German passports, English passports, Israeli passports, American passports, okay? Then he's attached to all these billionaires, scientists, right? Brett Weinstein is attached to, or Eric Weinstein, one of the Weinsteins, okay? Not the one married to Heather Hyde, the other one, basically, right? Who is a frequent guest of Joe Rogan. And when Joe Rogan doesn't have him on for like 6 months, like he starts crying. Like it's like Joe Rogan is their fucking god. Okay. Oh, Joe, you didn't have me on your fucking podcast. It's like they literally start crying, and you can see the fucking Weinsteins literally. I think it's Eric Weinstein, right? I think it's Eric Weinstein. He starts crying. Oh, Joe, you didn't have me on to defend myself. Oh, like Tim Dillon like made like a joke at them, right? He starts crying. Okay. He's attached to all these intelligent people, right? High IQ, Elon Musk, tech billionaires, right? And then let's take another conspiracy, okay? Nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. All right. Jeffrey Epstein is somebody who is attached to, he's Jewish. He's attached to Israeli intelligence, Mossad intelligence. Okay. So let's put that over here. 9/11 was done by the Al-Qaeda, Bin Laden, right? But an email went out the day before for telling all the Jewish people that worked at the Twin Towers not to come into work. Okay, when the when the planes went in, you saw a group of Israeli Jews dancing by the Twin Towers, right, or like a couple blocks away, basically dancing and celebrating at the planes hitting the Twin Towers. So you have Israeli people dancing, jumping up and down, right? Like isn't it all a little bit too close for comfort? Okay. And you have all these different, right, conspiracies, and they're all like, you can all link them back, whatever it is, to Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein, it might be a CIA asset. Okay. JF Kennedy, right, on the day he was assassinated, there was a suspect call made by George Bush Sr., Puppy Bush, and he said that he thinks he knows who killed JF Kennedy, right? and he phones in a possible suspect. Huh? Why would you be compelled to do that? It's very random, okay? But this shit is happening all around you. You just have to be able to be vigilant and to understand what is going on.
He was actually imprisoned for raping toddlers. So, you know,
right, okay.
We'll trust his word for that. But the point is, a lot of people are seeing a very similar reflection in the Epstein files, because pizza and grape soda for tomorrow for lunch, that seems really weirdly specific, and various other things like that. And you'll notice that
what he's referring to there is the Pizzagate scandal, which basically you know, where pizza was a code word for basically fucking children, right? And the word pizza comes up over and over again in these Jeffrey Epstein files. Oh, I can't wait to have some more pizza. Who would email somebody that they can't wait to have pizza? It's such a random thing to do. It's such a weird thing to do. And again, it links back to Pizzagate.
People have been talking about shrimp a lot, because they talk in a weird way about shrimp. Whoever this is, all weirdly redacted, someone is asking if we need someone, the shrimp, otherwise someone doesn't want to help her with the agency. Now, that's not talking about food, is it?
No.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And if
And that's a person.
To be fair, they could be referring to somebody as the shrimp because he looks like a shrimp.
maybe, absolutely, maybe. But why are we redacting this? Like, what?
At this point, they need to stop redacting these files. They need to just hand it all over, even if they're victims. Fuck them. Like, I'm not saying fuck the victims. They've already been fucked, right? And what I'm saying is, like if if I was to find out who the victim is, okay, like I would have no malice towards that person. Like I would really feel sorry for that person. Like these people could really benefit from the exposure, because if they saw how the world reacts towards them, okay, that they were targeted by Jeffrey Epstein, that they were hurt by Jeffrey Epstein, like the world would really rally behind these people. Okay, people are capable of such empathy, right? Normal people, not these fucking bloodthirsty elites, that they, you know, would be overflown with a sense of sympathy, a sense of love. Okay, but at the same token, if we were to see who the perpetrators are, that the world would rally behind them to fucking make sure that they never live a happy day in their life, right?
What's so mission critical about the redactions here, right? Sorry, and then you've got like various other ones as well. As you can see at the bottom.
Okay, that is. Let's jump into this other video that I wanted to show here.
Files was just the first act, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what I mean by that. The recent set of Epstein files is not what you think. Obviously, it is a huge revelation of some crazy stuff, some of which I can't even talk about in this video because I want to keep it PG. But there is way more to the story when you think about it from a...
He's basically trying to keep his video monetized so he can make some fucking money off it. Here on Raw Instinct, we are not afraid to talk about whatever it is that we want to talk about. We don't care about monetizing our videos. We care about getting to the root of truth.
Much larger and deeper perspective. Pause. And in this video, I'm gonna say what a lot of people either are thinking, or even if you haven't thought of this before, it'll all start to make sense. This recent batch of Epstein files released was a PSYOP, a psychological operation, and specifically a controlled release of information designed to placate the public.
I mean, it is definitely controlled, right? Because it's redacted, right? The elite, the people, see the CIA, the FBI, all these intelligence agencies, they're in cahoots, man. Like they're trying to keep the public dumb. They're trying to, because the CIA or the FBI, they're implicit as well, right? Because like these people have their fingers in every fucking pie, right? They know what the fuck is going on a global scale, right? And sometimes they allow this shit to happen, right? For honeypot operations, in order to gain influence over somebody, in order to implicit someone and blackmail them, right? These are high blackmail operations, which the CIA, possibly the FBI, are definitely part of. So if the US populace, if the world population was to find out that the CIA is doing this shit, and it's not just the CIA, it's all intelligence agencies, right? They are using sex, they are using children to in a honeypot situation to incriminate people in order to gain leverage.
The whole point of it was to give out just enough information to make you angry and upset internally, but not enough to make you act externally. Let me repeat. The government, the deep state, whoever you believe to be in control of the country and of our society, purposefully released just enough information to make you feel vindicated, to satiate your curiosity, to make you feel like you discovered something or that you were...
Yeah, because think about it, like these are thoughts that people have been having, right, especially the last 5 years since the pandemic, right? Like a lot of people been having these thoughts, a lot of people been not buying into what the official narrative is perpetrated by government, by media, legacy media, and they are looking at things with a different lens. They are called conspiracy theories, that are demonized. However, when you really come into it, there is some sort of truth in it, and this is enough information to keep them people at bay. However, there's no revolution, there's no like mass outcry. It is just another fucking thing that we see. Oh my god, did you hear about that? And then the news cycle just tries to move on.
Right all along, to make you feel like some kind of truth has been brought to light. But ultimately, what's going to happen the next day? Literally nothing changes. It's almost like that nothing ever happens meme. But at least for now, literally nothing changes. I mean, we just found out that our entire government, and really all of the Western governments in the world, are run by a network of PDFs and the most horrible people imaginable. But guess what? You're still going to go to work or school the next day. You're still going to buy food from the grocery stores, do whatever hobbies you have, talk to the same people around you, and you're still going to pay your taxes every year like a good boy. Your taxes are...
like a good goy. Goy is a derogatory term towards people who are not Jewish.
Going to be funding those same exact people who played with kids on that island. You know this, and it makes you mad, but at the end of the day, 99% of you out there aren't going to do anything about it. These people...
Yeah, nobody's going to do anything about it. We're going to observe it. We're going to be enraged, okay? But because nobody has agency, because nobody has any power to do actually anything about it, because we allow the authorities, the elites, the people who run the country to gain power over us, we are saying that it is their responsibility to deal with it. We're just going to be the observers. So you might be outraged, but at the end of the day, nobody's going to do anything. This is why we need to leave the system. We need to develop our own system. We need to come up with new solutions. And this is why I am establishing my own kingdom. I am here at Royal Instinct trying to get together 100 kings who are willing to fight against the system, 100 people who are dissatisfied with the current state of the world and who want to do something about it. If you understand what I'm saying, if you understand what I'm doing, then reach out to me. Let's see if we can work together.
People live off your dime. They funnel money back and forth to each other. They use that money, for example, to buy up all the properties, which is why you'll probably never be able to own a home someday. They never even pay their own taxes and commit fraud left and right. And we know all of this. If we didn't before, we know it now. And for so long, these people in the government, and especially in the media, convinced us and gaslit us into thinking we were the crazy ones. They called our investigations and discoveries conspiracies, misinformation. And they censored us, they deplatformed us for talking about this stuff years ago. But now, if it wasn't abundantly clear before, like I've always said on this fucking channel, you're not the crazy one. The world is. And we're done being gaslit. We're done being lied to. We literally live in a world.
If you are sick and tired of being lied to, if you're sick and tired of being gaslit, what are you going to do about it? Right? Most people feel powerless to do anything about it, which is why I am here fighting against the current system. I am here fighting against the current circumstances that we find ourselves in, and we are rejecting the current system to come up with our own system. We are establishing private land, private islands, establishing new nations. If you want to be part of it, let me know.
Where the people who rule over us played with little kids on an island. And in the moment, of course.
Now, how disgusting is that sentence? The elites who run the world played with little kids on an island. How fucked up is that? Right? What are we going to do about it? Okay? Like literally, like the world's about to end. People are literally going to throw away all their agency and just be outraged. They'll be angry about it. I don't doubt that people are angry about it. But I doubt that people will be able to come up with a solution against it. We have to move away, get out of the system, establish our own system, and together then we can overthrow the current regime, the current government, the current people who fuck kids on islands.
We all feel some level of righteous indignation. But even so, even considering all of that, it still seems like the PSYOP at least won this round. Because unfortunately, like I said earlier, we either can't do anything about it, or not enough of us are willing to. 99.9%, if not 100% of you who's watching this video right now, will just go back to life as usual, eating.
And why do people go back to their life as usual? Because they are being pressurized by inflation, by the cost of living crisis, by their own mental health. Okay, the world is conspiring. The people who are fucking on these islands, fucking these little kids, they're also running all these multinationals. Right, Bill Gates being one, right? Whether he fuck kids, whether he fuck prostitutes, it is documented. He definitely fuck prostitutes, right? Because he asked Jeffrey Epstein to help him get rid of STDs that he caught from Jeffrey Epstein's prostitutes. Okay. Yeah, like so we are being gaslit, we are being blinded, we are being told to focus on our problems in real life, which you have to, right? But I'm saying let's stop doing that. Let's get into a zone of geniuses. Let's make money online and take that money, become multimillionaires, start our own nations, our own private islands, and live better lives.
Our Chipotle slop bowls, watching Netflix at night, scrolling on racist Instagram reels, living in our tiny.
Yeah, and why do people watch Netflix? Why people get on Instagram reels? Because they need a relief from the pressures of the world, right? What I'm saying is, look, let's form a network of like-minded people who believe what I believe, people who see the truth for what it is, and let's get into our royal power. Let's establish kingdoms. Let's be seen as kings. Let's be seen as geniuses. And when we have power, when we have authority, we will use our power for good, unlike these false pedophiles. There's no better word for it in place right now in power. And let's solve the world crises and form a better next evolution for the human race.
Little apartments that were herded into like cattle. So yeah, I hope you understand that this is what the latest drop of Epstein files actually represents. We're going to give you enough information just to make you feel vindicated, to make you feel good about yourself, and you can.
And I've got another episode coming soon where I'm going to do a live stream about how the elites are actually just laughing straight in our faces. That the fact that they're getting away with it. Okay, there's many people complicit with it, right? A former president was good friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Bill Clinton is well documented that he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein, that he was doing all this dirty business behind backs. He's already been caught. He's already been impeached for his dealings with Monica Lewinsky. Is it a far-fetched that he was involved with all these children? I don't know. I believe so.
Get all of that anger and indignation out of your system. But at the end of the day, there's way more to the story that they're obviously hiding from us. For example, just look at all the redactions and the millions of files.
Yeah, well, why are they redacting people who, like, there's this one video where they laugh about where Jeffrey Epstein basically says back in the email saying that, oh yeah, I really enjoyed that torture video you sent me. Sorry, you enjoyed the torture video that you sent me. Who sent it? The name's been redacted, right? But somebody done some digging and basically unredacted that part. And it's literally somebody high up in the Saudi royal family who was sending torture videos to Jeffrey Epstein.
Files still yet to be released. And what we got was just the tip of the iceberg, clearly. If there's anything we can do, instead of just farming the current content of the Epstein files for reactions and clicks on social media, and then forgetting about it, then going on with our lives, we should be pushing for more.
Like, how are people not revolting in the streets? How are people not fucking angry at this? They're angry to the point of where they might do a social media post, but like, you know, the next day they'll go back to their fucking job because they have to pay off their bills.
Information to be released, because what they're hiding from us right now is the stuff that would actually probably make the masses truly want to make a change.
But I don't believe that the masses will make a change. I believe the masses are brainwashed. I believe the masses, the problem is the masses don't believe that they have any power, right? And here at Raw Instinct, we are giving back the power to the people. We are taking back power for ourselves, right? And together, you have one ally in myself. If you want to work with me, if you believe what I believe, similar worldview, similar belief system, similar values, similar, you know, virtues that we are trying to follow in life. We're trying to be good people. Like, all I want to do is be a fucking good person, right? Marry someone, have some children, live a good life, right? But it's not fucking possible in this world. Okay, we have to fight back. We have to stand against tyranny. We have to stand against these pedophiles.
But unfortunately, even with public pressure, I don't know if they'll ever release that stuff. And just a very quick, brief reminder of who was in the files for those who might not know. Rothschilds were in it, Musk was in it, Gates was in it, Trump was in it, Clinton was in it, Bannon was in it, Summers was in it, even Memdani was in it, at least his mom. Moral of the story is that it really doesn't matter what side.
All the people that you believe will bring about change, right? Like Zorak Mandami was brought in to, you know, give a big fuck you to the establishment, but he is part of the establishment. He is part of this conspiracy. Like, how is it that somebody connected to Jeffrey Epstein, right, is now the savior of New York City? I don't believe it. He is an asset. He is a puppet for the people in charge.
You're on at this point. What we all learned is that big news, everyone. I'm launching an entirely new show over on Patreon. But we're still not in it. The workers are not in it. The taxpayers are not in it. It's almost like these people live in a world of their own, which they kind of do. Another point, by the way, that I don't think people are saying enough. Think about all of the names that were redacted.
Let's just jump back into Andrew Tate.
Everything you said about your relation with Lashane, because I know that Rich and
at this point, is Andrew Tate a CIA asset as well? Right, he has all these massive amount of pressure. He is being threatened with jail. You know, would he not sell himself out? You know, I leave that choice to be made by you. I believe that he's already sold out. He is part of the establishment now. He is a psyop for the people.
Powerful people know each other. And sometimes you meet at social events, these things happen. But also I know that people who do wrong things don't often admit to doing them wrong. And it's the job of the authorities to investigate people who perhaps they have evidence that they've committed crimes, investigate them fully and clearly, and let the people at home know the rule of law applies. How can the British state have endless resources to try and put myself in jail? Endless resources.
What he does is cry about his own fucking issues. It's like, look, man, like, I would respect him more if he was just going straight on the elites who are implicit, right? But he always brings it back to his, I'm such a fucking victim. I've done nothing wrong. The elites are just trying to crush me because I said something, against the establishment. I believe at this point, Andrew Tate is part of the establishment.
To lock people up for tweets, endless resources to knock on doors for people who are unhappy with their government, but do not have resources to investigate this huge pile of evidence that we have, that huge, important members of the British establishment have a serious link with a convicted.
Yeah, I mean, the royal family has links to it. Prince Andrew was a good friend of Jeffrey Epstein. It is fucked up. It is not the situation that I want my elites to be in, which is why I do not buy into bowing down to any elites, which is why I am establishing my own group of elites. I'm looking for 100 people who want to be the new ruling class of the world. If you want to be part of that, if you understand what I'm doing, right, which is very important. If you understand what I'm doing, then let me know and we can work together. Find your zone of genius, make you rich beyond your wildest dreams, and we will be better rulers. We will be benevolent kings. We will be philosopher kings. We will lead the people to a new world.
Pedophile. It is because it is two-tier policing. It is because Keir and his government and the government previous are so corrupt to their core that they want to ignore these.
This is just a shit chat that two people are trying to clear their name, basically. Piers Morgan is implicit because he took pictures with Ghislaine Maxwell. He is in the Epstein files nearly 30 times, right? And Andrew Tate, he is a known human trafficker. He is a known person who will say anything to just get back to making money and ripping off people. But let's jump back into this Lotus video.
Agreements. I can't even think of the smell of black shrimp. It's a bit weird. I mean, I think they use shrimp to mean prawn. And there's just prawns. They're pink. Sometimes they're grey if they're not cooked. I like shrimp, but not too much if it's too pink. I'm definitely more into white than any other color.
Are they talking about that they'd rather fuck white people than black people? It's possible. A lot of these elites are inherently racist as well.
No, someone like shrimp, you throw away the head and keep the body. Right. I mean, this is...
What the hell is this?
I feel that they're not talking about prawns.
No, they're definitely not. This is...
And if they were, like, again, in the other ones, why are we redacting so much about them? You've got here, oh, poor you, I know how much you hate those stomach aches. Compilation preview, creamy shrimp. So someone who is being completely redacted. And then a good catch. I tried to Photoshop the cream off the twin shrimps. I just feel that this isn't talking about food. No. Right. And so it's right. Okay. This is kind of dark. Then you've got just various other things. Would you like a massage? I can cook food for you. You choose. I'll make you a birthday dinner. No shrimp. Okay. That's weird. I thought you liked shrimp a lot. I mean, who knows? So yeah, the shrimp definitely refers to someone, right? And this is
a category of someone's,
or that's right, a category of someone's. And then you've got other weird things. And this is the keep the shrimp one. It's more. Sure, there was another shrimp one. Meeting tomorrow, shrimp. Right.
Like, what is all this code wording business that they're using? Why are they using code words? Because they are trying to protect themselves in case this shit ever comes to light. Yeah, it is a fucked up situation that we find ourselves in. Let's jump back into this other video.
For people who were protected in these Epstein files, and the fact that even Trump himself, with all the power he has, couldn't prevent his own name from being in there. Think about what that means.
Even Trump is not your savior that you think he is.
Think about the implication of that. It means that even Trump, as the president of the most powerful country in the world, isn't really the one in charge of things. He's literally lower on the priority list of who to protect.
The people who become president, the people who are camera facing, they are just puppets for the shadow government, the people in the background, the deep state who are really pulling at the strings. He is being told what to do by the people in charge.
Than some of these other powerful individuals whose names were redacted in the emails. And that should tell you something. That should really be eye-opening. That should tell you how deep this thing really runs. And obviously, this is not a defense of Trump. Obviously, he's implicated. He's guilty of horrible stuff. But the biggest thing that I took away from this, and what should really scare you, if anything, is that however bad you think Trump is, there are people much more powerful and much darker than even him. And they're the ones whose names have been redacted. Finally, I need to get to this part of the story that, again, no one else is talking about. Why do I always have to talk about these things? Because no one else is. Everyone is literally just looking at, what's right in front of their noses. And these people, the government, the elites, the deep state, whatever you want to call it, are using these files to try to condition us for something bigger that's coming.
Yeah, you have to understand, like, why are the elites, why are the CIA, why are these intelligence agencies allowing us to see this? Because they're trying to outrage us and distract us over here, and in the background something else is happening. Okay, I believe that this year we will see a big correction in the stock market. We will see a big correction in the global financial markets, which will affect pensions, which will affect people's livelihoods. And while we are angry at this, something else is happening, and we are totally not allowed to react in time to save ourselves.
Now this part, I'll admit, is some level of speculation, but if you just follow along, I think you'll understand.
Let's jump ahead
Imagine
a little bit.
you're a government you know of that's going to happen soon. In that case, as the government or the ruling class, what's your goal? It's to control the public, make sure everything is peaceful, that there's not a bunch of chaos. And in order to do that, you have to undertake some kind of psychological operation, some kind of social engineering campaign to make sure society doesn't go out of control when shit hits the fan. And the way you do that is by conditioning the public to shocking things gradually and over time. That's what the Epstein files is. Have you noticed that over the past few years, it's been a slow drip of information? How it's almost like every few months or so, this comes back into the news cycle? That's obviously not a coincidence. Nothing is a coincidence. So yeah, one thing they do in these psyops is gradually release some kind of shocking information over time in a way that doesn't expose everything all at once. Another thing they do, which you also might have noticed in the recent years, is by introducing bizarre events or explanations here and there that really just don't seem to make sense. Almost like they're testing how much we as the public can figure things out for ourselves. Some examples of this I can remember recently are the drone situation that was in the news for like a month, then suddenly everyone forgot about it.
Yeah, like literally, they are just trying to push you along to buying a narrative and becoming desensitized to any information. A lot of people, because there is so much information being thrown at them via their social media feed, that it is just too much to handle, and you'll be outraged. You'll buy into the rage bait. However, you also are being deconditioned to reacting in a way that will destabilize these nations.
Obviously, you have the Charlie Kirk incident, which everyone, literally everyone, knows the government is lying about.
Think about it. This guy got assassinated, right? He got assassinated at a live event, and people are outraged. People are worried, right? However, people are also now like, okay, that shit happens, right? Trump got shot in the ear, apparently, okay, and people are like, oh shit, like the president got, he got targeted by a psycho on the other side, on the opposition, and people are now, they bought it and then they moved on with their lives.
And there are plenty of other things I can point to as well. Now, hypothetically, the reason why they would do this stuff is very simple. So just watch, observe, be as perceptive as you can be. Come back to this video if weird stuff ever starts happening again, which it probably will. Because honestly, what you need to know is that there are two parties involved. The experimenters and the test subjects. Radical progressive left. But even in spite of that, I feel like it's in times like these where you know, maybe it's worth it to put the culture war stuff aside, even just temporarily.
Yeah, everything that you are seeing on your feed is a way to distract you, is a way to enrage you, to distract you from the real shit that is happening in the background. And that is a world that I do not want to live in. If you understand what I'm saying, if you understand what I'm doing, you need to reach out to me. We need to work together. We need to come up with new solutions. We need to come up with new ways of governing the world, because that is what I want to be. We have to decide if we want to become leaders, and I'm looking for 100 people that I can work with to develop the new group of people who have each other's backs, who you can rely on as friends. And then you have 100 kings here, what I'm building on Raw Instinct, 100 kings ready to fight alongside each other, building nations, building kingdoms. If you want to be part of that, if you understand what I'm doing, then reach out to me. Let's see if we can work together. But that is it. Do not buy into the propaganda. Do not buy into the falsehood that the narrative is that is being pushed upon you. Become a king, become somebody who is a subject matter expert, become somebody who is willing to fight against tyranny. But that is it for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next